Australia was introduced to Lane Pittman along with his mighty mullet and his amazing voice back in April of 2022 when the then 16-year-old school student from Tamworth wowed the audiences with his cover of Luke Combs's Even Though I'm Leaving as his audition for The Voice Australia. Lane bulldozed through the last couple of years and now he's rocketed into 2024, or he did rocket into 2024 with the release of his self-titled EP. His latest single, the heartwarming track I played just a minute ago, entitled Man I'm Turning Out to Be. That's a really touching song, I find anyway. It follows the breakout success last year of his sensational song Amen for the Weekend that earned him national TV appearances, top streaming spots, and his first golden guitar. Well done there. Since supporting Luke Combs on his sold-out Australian Arena tour in 2023, Lane has been on a roll with no signs of slowing down. Selling out his headline show at last year's Tamworth Country Music Festival, being nominated for New Talent of the Year Golden Guitar Award, his appearance at the iconic CMC Rocks and the buzz surrounding his EP's release all created an unprecedented level of excitement around this highly talented young artist. It's pretty clear that this young bloke has got success written all over him, and I think I can safely predict that he has a huge, huge career ahead of him. So I'll be keeping a keen eye on his progress. I first spoke on the phone with Lane last year, and I'm truly delighted to once again have him standing by on the phone, waiting to have a chat with me. So let's bring him on air right now. Hello, Lane. How you going, mate?
Good, mate. How are you?
Oh, terrific. Welcome to the Country Club again. It's great to have you on the show. I remember the last time we had a chat, and I've been looking forward to doing it again. I knew we would, because when you're up and coming, you're always on the Country Club, mate. Always. So welcome. And
thanks, mate. It's always good to be back.
It's always, like I said, it's great to have you on the show. Now, tell us the story behind this. I really want to talk to you about this song. Behind this very, very touching song. It really pushes buttons on me, mate, I've got to tell you. Man I'm Turning Out to Be. Did you write that alone, or was it a co-write?
No, this one was a co-write with some great writers. We did a trip to Nashville in December, and this was the first song we wrote on that trip. I walked into a room with Aaron Pollock, and Lydia Sutherland, and I had the back end of this chorus just sitting around, and I decided to shoot my shot. I'd never met them, and played the back end of this chorus, and we all sort of looked at each other and knew it was a song that needed to be written, even if it was never going to be released. It was just kind of a song that I think I needed to write personally to, round out my journey with the loss of my dad back in 2018. And there's so many little bits of story through this song that have all happened. The first time I did try and learn how to shave, I cut my face pretty badly, or I didn't really learn how to cook, so I had to figure that out by myself. There's so many things in that song that are just true stories, and I think that's why the song hits the way it does. There's so much good in realism and being open and vulnerable.
Well, I can't argue with that. That's all true. And, I understand, about the loss of your father, all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, look, like I said, I find the song very, 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 very heartwarming and very touching. And I'm really sincere about that. I'm not just saying that, to, bolster your ego or anything like that. I really do mean it. This is a great song, and it's a great piece of songwriting. So kudos to you and all the people involved in it. They've done a great job, really.
Thank you so much, mate. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and well, you're welcome. Like I said, it presses buttons with me. So anyway, I've got to ask you still got the mullet?
I do. It's not going anywhere anytime soon, I think. I've said this to a few people. If I ever decide to cut it off, it's going to be for a worthwhile cause. I think I'll probably cut it off for mental health. But currently, as it still stands, the hair is still here and still growing. Good man. I love it. I had a mullet myself, back when I was a lot younger. I'm talking about decades ago. But, look, hang on to it. It's worth having because, it's a great trademark. So, keep up the good work. and I've got to say, it looks okay. The photos I've seen, it looks fine, Yeah, look, I try and keep it in good nick. Shampoo and conditioner it a couple times a week. Make sure
Okay.
it stays nice and trimmed. Got to keep a polished look about it.
Okay, yeah, of course. You got to look good on stage, mate. That's part of your professionalism. Now, I just read yesterday I think that you've been announced for the Saturday lineup for Stagecoach 2026 in California.
Yes.
Wow, what? How'd that happen?
Look, if you could tell me, I think we'd both know. I got a call from management, and they said, "Hey, you're playing Stagecoach next year." And I won't repeat the next words that came out of my mouth, but
I can imagine what it
it
was.
it, the sentence started with "git" and ended with "fire truck." You
Okay.
can infer what came there, and it's such an unreal lineup. I remember looking at it when
Yeah.
we announced, and there's so many amazing artists, a few of which who I've been lucky enough to tour with or meet throughout the last couple of years. So I'm really excited. We're bringing the band over. It's going to be the first time the band have come to the States with me, and
Wow.
we're really looking forward to it. We're going to get to put on a kick butt show and really show that Australian country is here to stay, and we really want to try our best to put it on the map.
Absolutely marvellous. Well done. That's great. I looked at the lineup and, there's some of the cream of not just American country, but, the world country. There's some great artists on there, and you're going to be in some pretty stiff company. But look, you're going to hold your own. I'm sure of that. No doubt about it. So, go over there, do a great job, and, really represent us well. I'm sure you will. And, geez, that's what an opportunity. I love that. That's
Yeah,
terrific.
it's unreal.
Yeah, a dream come true, I would think.
For sure. I've seen that lineup many years and thought about, what it'd be like playing on it, and now to have the opportunity in April, we're really going to make the most of it.
Absolutely. Well, that's good, and that's a good attitude to have. You nervous about it at all?
Look, I think at this point, there's always a little bit of nerves when it comes to the big shows, but I mean, I'm grateful that we got the opportunity again in January this year. We supported Luke Combs on his stadium tour as well, so we got to play some pretty big shows. We did stadiums all across the East Coast and over in New Zealand as well, which was unreal, and that really helped kind of lower the nerves in a way when you're playing for that many people. Nerves
Yep.
kind of, you learn to settle them, but I mean, these days we rehearse our show a lot, so it feels a little less nerve-wracking because I know what I'm doing once I get out there. I've said this to a lot of people. It's always the same office, but a slightly different view every show.
Okay. Yeah. I get that, and I guess that's important. Keeps things nice and fresh. So yeah, good stuff. Right, so why country, Lane? I mean, of all the genres you could have chosen, why did you pick country to pursue your musical career in?
Look, I think it had been sort of in my blood since I was born. Mum and Dad always used to play, all the great stuff from the late 90s, early 2000s in the car. Tim McGraw's, Brooks and Dunn, Alan
Wow.
Jackson, Garth Brooks. My grandparents are big on, Chris Ledoux, Randy Travis,
Okay.
that sort of era. So country's always been around, and obviously moving to Tamworth at a young age, it was always, every January you're down the street for 10 days soaking up the best of country music. So it really just felt like a natural kind of in for me, and I couldn't see myself really doing any other genre than country.
Okay. All right. That's interesting. Going all the way 3 generations now of country music fans. That's great.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. There's nothing short of some good country music at a family dinner, that's for sure.
I'd love to be there, mate. I would absolutely love to sit at that table. That'd be great. And the artists that you just mentioned, Brooks and Dunn, and all those folks, Alan Jackson. Huge fan of all of those people, and I've got so much of their stuff in my playlist. That's so. Yeah, I would love to. I would love to join you guys for a family dinner one night. I'll tell you. Oh dear. Yeah. So you going to invite me or what?
Oh, we'll see. It's a long hike up to Tamworth.
It's worth it. If I could sit in on a dinner with your folks, I'm in. I'm there. I just got to save up the money to buy the petrol. That's all, So,
Exactly.
all right. Now, you got any notion of an album anytime soon? I know you got your EP out and it's doing, gangbusters. But I'm thinking the next step has got to be an album. So is there any notion of that coming up?
Look, yeah, well, we dropped that EP last March, and it's been tracking well. And we've dropped the first couple of singles, and we're actually dropping a brand new one this coming Friday called Right Till Now, which is also from that Nashville trip, which has been a song I've been sitting on since December, and we've been playing live that I'm super pumped for. And at the moment, there's definitely an album in the works, and it's on the cards. We don't have a release date yet, but it is definitely something that I want to get out. Having a full, longer kind of body of work, longer than the 5 songs that an EP would be. Where it's definitely something we're working towards, and right now it's all just about writing great songs and really trying to narrow down what that album would look like.
Have you got enough songs for an album? I imagine you would have.
Look, we're getting close. I've definitely written enough for an album, but now it's really just, keeping on writing and trying to figure out the best songs and really kind of trying to tell a cohesive story with the entire project.
Okay. All right. Yeah, no, well, I'm looking forward to it. So, not if, but, when eventually the album comes out, I've got to have a copy of it,
Sounds good. We'll make sure to get you one.
Okay, great. When later on today, I might send you a text with our mailing address here at the studio. So if you can, send me a CD and I'll include my email address here. So you can send me links to the digital copies. I'm happy with that too. So that's the way things are going nowadays. So whatever. Okay.
Sounds good.
Tell me about your main influences. Who do you regard as your strongest influences as a country music artist?
Geez, there's so many answers for this. It really depends on the day of the week and what road I want to go down. You look at Aussie legends like Troy Cassar-Daley and the Wolf Brothers, who I've been massive fans of my entire life, and heading over stateside. There's amazing artists. Obviously, Luke Combs is a big one. I've had the opportunity to with him twice now, and he's such an amazing guy. There's singer-songwriters like Ernest and Hardy who are absolutely amazing and write some phenomenal music. So they're also a huge inspiration as well.
How did you get on with Luke? Did you have much interaction with him on the tour?
Yeah, there was a fair bit of interaction. He is such a lovely guy, and he really just wants the best, and we sat down even on this tour in January, the last night of tour, and spoke for a good couple of hours, and he was nothing but humble and gracious, and gave me as much advice as he could, and that was really one of the star takeaways from the tour.
Sure. Okay. Oh, that sounds great. I find that a lot, especially in the country music genre, that the people are really, really down to earth. No matter how big a star they are, they're really down to earth, and they're helpful and suggestive, and it's good stuff. And you don't get that in a lot of other genres, I find anyway.
So. Oh no, for sure. I've always said country music's one big family, and everyone in this genre just wants to see people lifted up rather than torn down, which is something that I'm super grateful for. To have been accepted into the genre at such a young age, and having all these amazing people around me that have given me such great advice and really tried to lift me up has been something amazing.
Yeah, that's good. That's great. Yeah, that's a common story that I get, from a lot of people in the country music scene, and it's good to hear that. It really is. It's heartwarming. All right, let's talk about. What's now? I've got to ask, and this might be a hard one, but what's been your most memorable experience so far as a performer?
Look. There's a few to choose from, but I've really got to say that this Luke tour that we just did in January, I'm a big NRL fan and a big Bulldogs fan of that, and we played two shows at a core stadium down in Olympic Park at Sydney, and to walk out both of those nights, I walked out with a Bulldogs jersey for a song, and was lucky enough to meet some of the players after the show, and they saw the show and were nothing but complimentary. So that, I think, personally and professionally, is a huge standout.
Okay, all right, I get that, but. Now, you're talking about the Bulldogs, and you're talking about someone in Melbourne, and a fan of AFL, right? So I've got to ask, the Bulldogs, is that like an American, a Sydney team, or Are we talking?
Yeah. They're a Sydney. They're like a western kind of Sydney, the Canterbury, Bankstown sort of area.
Okay, all right, yeah, I got it. Because I mean, we've got a team here. You know, the Bulldogs. Their Footscray. So just to clear up any confusion that might have arisen.
Yeah.
Just for us Melbourne folks, you know what I mean, or Victorians. All right. So what's next for you? Apart from this trip to California. What do you got coming up in the way of gigs or appearances, festivals, whatever, here in Australia?
Yeah, we're hitting the road pretty hard next month. We're all over the shop. We start next Friday night. We're playing the Danny Ute Muster, which is going to be great. And then for the rest of the month, we're heading through to Gilgandra, heading up to Cairns, the Gold Coast, Sydney, Brisbane, and then we're actually going to be in Melbourne at the end of the month for the Writing Hearts Festival, which is going to be super fun. We're looking forward to it. A great mix of Aussie and international talent.
Okay. All right. Well, you picked the right time of year to come because the weather will probably be a little bit better than what it is now. Although it's a nice day today, but still.
Yeah, that's what I've always found. Melbourne can either be really good. I mean, Victoria in general can either be really good or really not good. So we're praying for some good weather.
You got it right there. Oh dear. Yeah, look, we can't do much about the weather, but you'll be welcome here. We welcome them with open arms. So yeah, you've been here before, so you know what it's like.
Exactly. It's always a good time down in Melbourne.
Yep. And we try and make sure that you made to feel welcome.
We'll be back in Melbourne next year for sure. We're just plotting out sort of what the touring schedule will look like for next year, but there definitely is some Melbourne shows on the cards and broader Victoria in general.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. That's you've got a lot of fans down here. I can tell you that, and you would know that anyway. But we'd love to see you down here, and you'd be always welcome in this state. But I'm talking about any state in Australia would be the same, I reckon. So now, we got to knock off soon. But look, thank you so much again, Lane, for taking the time to have a chat with me. I do appreciate it very, very much, and I look forward to being able to do it again in the not too distant future. So if that works
Sounds
for
good. You, yeah, for sure. Let's tee it up.
Okay. All right. Look, I'll usually one of your people will get in touch with me, and we'll work out a date and whatever, like we have for this one. So yeah, I look forward to doing it again. Love talking to you, mate, and I love your work. So keep it up, and best of luck next year when you go to California. I really do envy you that. So yeah, have a great time.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it.
Okay, all right. Bye for now, and we'll talk to you again soon, hopefully.
Sounds good, mate. Have a good one.
All right, see you, Lane. Bye.
Bye-bye.